In this video, we are going to look at how to create an exploded view of our assembly. To get this view, you need to open a presentation file. So go to New, and in this dialog box, you can see Parts, Assemblies, Drawings, and Presentations. Choose Presentation and Create. To create the first view, we need to bring in our assembly. Hit Create View. It's looking for an assembly. You can navigate to it here. Using your drop down, you can find the correct folder. This is the assembly of my puzzle cube that I would like to explode. Click Open. Right here on the Select Assembly, the explosion method, there are two choices. Manual, where I'm going to go in and manually tweak or move my parts that make up this assembly, or I could choose automatic, and it will just on its own choose to move the parts in a certain direction to get the parts to separate based on this distance that you can set. We're going to go ahead and choose manual. Okay. I'm going to rotate this around. Let's see, see that's home. My top, front, and right view. Okay. To do my exploded view, we're going to use the tweak component command. That allows us to take a part and to pull it away from the assembly. Let me zoom out slightly and get it centered. Okay, I'm going to begin on the front here with this blue piece, and I'm going to pull it out along the z-axis. To do that, I choose Tweak Component, I choose the part that I'd like to move, and then I select the axis that I'd like to move along. By default, the z was picked, as Inventor can tell how this assembly was created and best predicts which direction you want to pull the object. So I can just manually set my distance right here, or I could let go and type in a distance right here. Say if I wanted it to be pulled out 2.5 inches, I can type that in. And then hit close. Next, I want to look around for another object that would be easy to move, or what direction. The purple piece, I think I'll pull straight up. So I'm going to choose it, and again, the Z was already picked. You can change the axis that you're going to pull along by choosing these arrows, the X, the Y, or the Z. Notice with the X selected, it will move in the X direction. If I click the Z, I can pull it along the Z. And I'd like to pull this up. You can also do a compound tweak, where you move in one direction, and then change to a different, and continue to move the object. You can also rotate the object. So after making those two translations, I can now do a rotation, and it gives me the choice to pick which axis I would like to spin around. Currently it's around the X. I'm going to change to the Z, and then I can put in my degrees here of rotation. What if we rotate this around about 70 degrees and see what that does? And I'll hit close. Okay, so we've pulled out a couple shapes, showing you how to do a translation or tweak, as well as a rotation. Next, let's move the green and the red piece. I'm going to choose the green piece, I'm going to choose the Y-axis direction, and slide it backwards. And then I'll slide it up. Lastly, I will tweak the red part. And I'm going to move it along the Z so it comes straight back. And then along the X. Pull it down here to the right a little bit. And let's go ahead and do a rotation of this part. I'm going to rotate around the Y. I'm going to bring this front face around just slightly so you can see it better. And I'm just guessing here. What's 50 degrees look like? Okay, how about a little more? 60 maybe? I'd like to get somewhat equal spacing, so I'm going to grab the blue part, and I'm going to pull that a little further away from this orange part. So along the X, I'll go ahead and move it this way. After performing your tweaks, you now have an exploded view. Make sure to save. I'll choose Save As. Choose the correct folder and name your file. I will call this Exploded Presentation. If you get this dialog box about saving, do you want to save changes to exploded presentation file and its dependents? Say OK. Here is my exploded view in a presentation file. In the next video, you'll learn how to produce a drawing file that will include this exploded view, where you can give some more detailed information. But before you do that, you may want to spend some time playing around with the Animate tool. If you choose Animate, interval, the higher the number, the slower the speed. I'm going to hit the play button here and you'll see that all of the tweaks that you had created will play back in reverse order, and they will reassemble your puzzle cube. I'm going to go ahead and hit reset and show you that if I make this interval speed a much smaller number, hit apply, and hit play, that it goes much faster. So you can play around with the interval speed and some of these commands. You can also hit this arrow and it will bring your tweaks, show you the tweaks that you created. You can also choose them and you can change the order. Hit reset. Okay, so I hadn't hit reset. Hit reset, so it was in the middle of the motion. And now, if you'd like to change the order in which this is going to play out, you can go ahead and highlight one of the tweaks, and you can say move up, and you can follow that the purple piece is moving up to a higher priority so that it plays first. Hit apply, and then hit play, and then you can see that the purple piece moved first. Okay, so you can play around with that. After you've got tweaks that you like, an order that you like, an interval or speed that you'd like, you can go and record. Okay, I'm going to end here. In the next video, we will take this exploded view and get it into a drawing and show how to create a parts list and a nice file that can be printed.